and your devil! Chapter 3. Lois opened the door and let me see the so-called Igor having a hump on his back. But he neither looked like an erotic fantasy. He looked more like a grumpy, half-misery old guy that lived on coffee and nicotine. I come to review my test, and outside there is a woman with full tempers enough to be your wife. I would say your daughter, but I refuse to believe that there is someone who wants to... He ended with an obscene gesture. Without even turning a hair about his pupil's disrespectful remark, and without taking his eyes off the book he was reading, he held out his hand to a pile of papers he had next to him, took a bundle of them and gave it to Lois, and also almost without taking his eyes off the book, looked at me from the corner of his eye. "What do you want?" he yelled at me. I didn't like the tone, and I took long to answer. Because of this, and because I was embarrassed to tell him the story in front of the guy I had just humiliated, reminding him he was a failure. Of course, he got even his way. "Hey you, are you alive or what?" he shouted again. Yes, I am," I answered. "Excuse me, I was trying to see which piece of furniture was talking." Lois suppressed a laugh behind the desk, but the teacher didn't turn a hair. "What? Can you speak?" he insisted. "Well," I said, trying to put aside the embarrassment. "The thing is that I have something at home that changes things from their places, flying." "What? A diligent servant?" the old guy muttered. "That would be very weird, for sure," he ended. "I really don't have a clue, but I can assure you, it isn't a servant. It still didn't ask me for a contract. I came because they talked to me about you at the magic shop near the train station," I explained. "Oh, I see, there. You should go back and tell them to sell you one of my books. This is not a surgery. I am fed up with they sending me every imbalance that goes through their door," the misery professor said. I didn't have too much more option than leave. Lois still was standing behind the desk, laughing, I suppose. I was grateful. At least I didn't have to see his face. The old guys either, that surprisingly didn't turn a hair in any moment, didn't raise the head in any moment. "What a trick to forget," Lois said, coming next to me with agility. "You too. You are going to do your best in the next exam," I implied. "I don't think there is going to be a next exam. I only have one more chance and I'm not going to waste it with this stupid. I'm changing to Compostela fucking off. And you'd better have clear. I always do my best." "Of course, but the teacher's got in it for you," I rapped. "Yes, he has, you bitch," he said, upset. "It's not necessary for you to shout. I do believe you. You took it well. Sure, I'm going to slash the 4 tires of his Mercedes. I have already found out where he keeps it. The motherfucker brings the panda here," Lois said. "Maybe he doesn't trust his students," I said with sarcasm. "Maybe," he smiled. "Do you want me to have a look at your home thing? I can't pass this guy's subject, but I passed the rest with distinction. I can show you the certificate if you want." "No, don't bother. Your marks are the less worrying about you," I said. I wanted to mean about everybody, because I wasn't referring to him in particular either. But I wasn't taking home the first guy that sympathized with me at a university, especially if he did it in a faculty like that. Don't get mixed up by the Mercedes tires. That's a minor detail. Last year, I crossed his dog with a stray one, but only because they liked each other. I didn't force them. I'm not making it any better, am I? He asked with a little devil face. No, certainly not, I answered. But I only mess with him about. And I swear I have never done a spell for him. I fulfill the deontological code scrupulously. He explained. Fine, I said. Come on, this is the first chance I have to see something like that live, he begged. What do you study here for? I meant badly. For solving problems like yours, Lois put an end. Of course, and how are you going to solve it if you haven't faced anything like that before? I'm well documented. I can recite you by heart all the bibliographical references about this topic, all the documented historical references, the scholars' theories, the villagers' theories, my theories. I did my doctoral thesis 5 years ago and I improve it each year. You aren't finding anyone that knows better than me, not even the old men as much as they have recommended him at that magic shop of yours, he argued. I'm not questioning any of that. I'm sure all you're saying is true. But you will understand, I have enough with what I have without adding a psychopath. I rapped. I do it for free, he haggled. Oh, did you want to charge me for that? I was shocked. No, I didn't. I'm telling you, I'm doing it for free. Plus, if you let me see it, I'll take you out to dinner, he offered. I see you really have a cheek. I cut him short, thinking the whole story was a filthy strategy to chat me up. It was worth it trying, Lois said, giving up the negotiation. Too soon, I would say, but even winning, I couldn't overlook a free dinner. It was the equilibrium a third world needed. I invited Bego to have lunch, Lois invited me to dinner, and in exchange I let him try to solve my little problem. Even failing the so-called Igor subject, he couldn't make it worse. Let's see, where are you going to take me? I shouted. Lois slammed on the brakes and looked at me without turning around, with an evil Pataki-style pose, and said, wherever you want. Oh dear, my pupils turned into crabs. Not very expensive, I'm under 1,000, he ended. My pupils turned into meat and omelette. Deal, I said, shaking hands to formalize the agreement. He smiled and shook mine firmly, but not to tie. First near our house, he asked. It seemed to me with double meaning. But I wanted to make it clear that it was a business issue, and even risking he didn't keep his part of the deal as far as inviting me to dinner was concerned, I told him, first, home.